is a call to the people, to the cashless masses with a heart of passion and ration of the mind. Those whose third eye is waking, those who have felt the fire and faced it, those who are no longer complacent, those who dare to think differently, because if you ponder the possibility of infinity, you are a true revolutionary. With cerebral C4, we incinerate and obliterate the confines of conformity. With ancestral allies, the fallacy of individuality dies within the limitless confines of the third eye. I know that the warriors must once again unite to fight for the birth of the sexto sol. Preparation comes in strengthening of the soul. Focus and meditation will bring this revolution. Revelation. The modern poets and prophets personify the possibility of paramilitary mental revolutionary, because we got to take the minds of the children and build them into true men and women with knowledge of self and that weapon of self-expression, because the enemy ignorance has no chance against righteousness, and this time the revolution will be televised on the telepathic pathways of the Most High, and our war cry will be Jah Rastafari, sounded by them dreadlocks doing pop locks on the front lines. And the capoeira assassins will commit the corporate coup d'etat, because we dispense our rhetoric in rhythms at revolutionary rallies disguised as raves. Our operative orders will be given by mystic shaman DJs. Our secrets will be relayed by code talkers who are Dene, members of the Red Power movement with something to say. Our leaders will meet in sweat lodges, and the heat of our grandfathers will give us the solution to win this revolution. And I'm talking about the evolution of ideas and the resolution to become enlightened for the sake of all living beings, seeing past all delusive passions and to penetrate the most furthest gate of truth. Because as a child of God, we have a divine birthright, and we inherit this birthright by battling the bastards of blasphemy with sunlight. We will win this revolution because it's a revolution of the mind, and because we know, like Gandhi said, an eye for an eye just end up making everybody blind. Welcome to the Resolana Heartfire. Make some noise, clap your hands. Let me hear you be alive out there. You're living, breathing, your heart is beating, and we're here today to share beautiful poetry. And this art form is to be honored and respected tonight, and that's what we're here to do. And to honor and respect all those beautiful poets that are going to come and grace this stage tonight. So make sure you open your eyes, open your heart, open your ears. Just be all opened up over there, because we're going to give you good things to hear. Now, next up on the mic, you guys are in for a treat. It's the Albuquerque Poet Laureate is going to come up and grace this stage. She's one of the most kind and amazing people that I know, and a close personal friend of mine. Make some noise for Jessica Helen Lopez!
I was sitting there next to Kat talking shit, and she's like, "That's you. He's saying you, the City Poet Laureate. Get up there." Oh yeah. Hola everybody, ¿cómo estás? How are you? What about that snow? It's like a blizzard. That's what we call an Albuquerque blizzard. We might have a 2-hour delay. We might not. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Thanks everybody for coming out despite the weather. We're here at the Resolana Heartfire to stand in solidarity with Katrina Guarascio. She's been my longtime friend. I can attest to her talent. A longtime educator working with youth, but also with her adult peers. I've learned so much from Katrina, and not just how to hang out at a bar either, or play ping pong. But I've traveled with her across country. She's a great road mate, and I've learned a lot about how to facilitate workshops and create safe spaces for creative expression. She's been my friend, my co-worker, my comadre. And so I'm just really happy to be here and reading this evening for the Heartfire. And this one's for Katrina. I wrote this. This is new, so be kind. This is the entire title. Not that one. Susie writes a poem, or if robots taught creative writing classes. For Resolana Heartfire, in solidarity with Katrina Guarascio, notorious corrupter of children. Susie, write a poem. Write a poem, Susie. You will need a pencil, lined paper, and the ability to abide the rules. Susie, listen. Follow, Susie. Follow my instruction, Susie. Squeeze your poem like a baby bird between the palm. That's a simile, Susie. Write a simile, Susie. Sarah, follow suit, Sarah. Sarah, follow Susie. No, Susie, you may not write about the dream you dreamed last night, Susie. No, Sarah, no poems about Bengal tigers and motorcycle gangs. No whip chains or politics, Susie. Susie, what did I say, Susie? Be a positive role model for Tommy. Tommy, write a poem. Tommy, no, Tommy, you may not write about your father. Tommy, Susie, your poem is on fire, Susie. We don't like poems that self-immolate, Susie. Susie, your poem is bleeding all over the floor, Susie. Sarah, sanitize, Susie. For the sake of common core and all that is good in the world, wash your poem, Susie. Tommy, take the tip from Susie. Tommy, be clean, Tommy. Tommy, take it to the river. Beat your poem against the sun-bleached stones, Tommy. Susie, your poem is too hot, Susie. Too dirty, Susie. Too dark. To tell it on the mountain, Susie. Too syllabic, Susie. Too Norzil Hurston for me, Susie. Too multilingual, Susie. Too narrative. Too satirical. Too surreal. Too real, Sarah. I said write a poem. Follow appropriate instructions, Sarah. Susie, like baking a cake, be a good girl, Susie. Write your poem, Susie. Here, let me, Tommy, Sarah, Susie. Let me, add a pinch of personification, write a metaphor with moderation. Forego too much alliteration, Susie. Too much alliteration sounds too Spanglish, Susie. Sounds like rap, Susie. Sounds like hip-hop, like a bastard tongue, like a patois, like a borderland, like a poem with no passport. You don't want your poem deported now, do you, Tommy? Susie, Sarah, Tommy, write about safe things, Susie. Susie, write of chaste things, Susie. Sarah, write about Sarah, but not too much Sarah. Sarah, Tommy, stop writing about your dad, Tommy. Bruises are not plum-colored jellyfish. Bruises are sometimes just blue, Tommy. And for Christ's sake, don't write about Christ. Don't crucify your poem, Susie, Sarah, Tommy. Truth be told, your poems are too truthful, Susie. Susie, stop staring at the clouds. No, you may not write about clouds, Susie. No, you may not write about burning tongues and raised fists, Sarah. No, not about flying guitars and anarchy, Tommy. No, not about razor blades or vagina, Susie. Yes, I know you have a vagina, Susie. Don't write about it, Susie. What are you, feminist? We don't write about the F-word, Susie, Sarah, Susie, especially you, Tommy. We don't write about war or APD police brutality or the homeless. We don't write about sex or sexuality or sexual orientation. No depression, Sarah. No cutting, Tommy. No teenage pregnancy, Susie. We just don't, Susie. We don't. Susie, standardize your poem, Susie. Susie, write a poem, dear heart. Just write a poem, Susie.
Make some noise for Jessica Helen Lopez. Let me hear you. That's what I like to see. And keep on clapping. Keep making noise for the next poet on this stage. Make some noise for Kevin Kirby. This is a little different. And it's hard to follow something like that. I want to thank Bill Nevins for having the courage to invite me to share a few thoughts on the future of free speech. Free speech for human beings is such old
But corporate free speech is the future. Mitt Romney got it right. Corporations are people, my friends. The Supreme Court of the United States ruled that when you limit a corporation's right to spend money to say something, you are denying that corporation's right to free speech. Citizens United made it possible for corporations to be treated fairly, and we should respect decisions that support free speech, even if we don't agree with it. Corporations should not be denied the right to free speech just because they're corporations. Corporate speech is much more important than human speech because corporate speech is where the money is. Face the facts. We don't live in a republic anymore, and certainly not in a democracy. We live in an oligarchy. You got a problem with that? Well, get over it. Human rights really don't matter when it comes to free speech. Corporate rights rule. In this way, the Supreme Court has done us all a favor by affirming the reality of who we really are, and not the American myth of who we think we are. The Citizens United decision was just a stamp of approval. Now, some would say we went too far in granting First Amendment rights to corporations, but I say we didn't go far enough. Someone needs to have the guts to speak up for the other corporate constitutional rights, which have been completely ignored by the Supreme Court and Wall Street. What about the 13th Amendment? Sure, corporations have the First Amendment right of free speech, but the decisions of who gets to exercise this right of speech is left to the CEOs and stockholders. The CEOs and stockholders not only speak for the corporations, they can strip them of their assets, split them apart, and sell them off to the highest bidder. Sound familiar? This has been happening on Wall Street from its early days as a slave market until the present day stock market. And now it's come full circle. African people became property, slaves, to be bought and sold on Wall Street. And today, corporations have become people to be bought and sold on Wall Street. Who will speak up for the corporation's best interests? Corporations which now are people, my friend. So corporations or people have in effect become slaves to the CEOs and stockholders. Maybe we could just change the language a little. CEOs and stockholders would become CEO overseers and slave holders. Then there's stocks and bondage. What about human capital? Oh, I guess you don't have to change that. But when you think about it, the whole Wall Street crowd are basically in violation of the 13th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. This is an amendment which specifically prohibits owning people, or corporations who are now people. I think it's time we had a new Supreme Court case to protect the rights of corporations' reclassification as people. In the 19th century, the United States fought to end slavery. In the 20th century, Americans fought for civil rights. And now in the 21st century, we find ourselves fighting for corporate rights. Ironic that while we still fight for human rights and civil rights, the real fight for corporate rights and corporate personhood has begun in earnest. So let us raise the banner of the 13th Amendment. Fight for for the corporation's emancipation and help them throw off the shackles of ownership by CEOs and stockholders. Maybe it is time to set corporations free. And maybe after we've given corporations their rights, maybe the human rights can simply trickle down.
Make some noise for Mr. Kevin Kirby. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the next artist that's gonna come and grace this stage tonight is a traveler. And when I say a traveler, he travels all over the world representing Burque to the fullest. He's a spiritual traveler and he's an artistic traveler. And when I say artistic traveler, he's an artist in the fullest sense of the word, a poet, a musician, and a graffiti artist like you ain't never seen. Make some noise for the next poet on the stage. Let me hear you for Mike 360! You gotta keep making noise till he makes it up here.
All right.
It's good to be home. Don't let me out of the country, by the way, just because I'm not a good dad and there's a bunch of other shit that's not right, but I got good at art. If you want to see one of my paintings, it's over there. Yeah, I got asked to paint in Italy. Like, my teacher doesn't let us say the G word, you know, so I don't call it graffiti. We write on walls. My wife and I, when we're lucky to have a wife and my son is right here. I will, excuse me, I'm just introducing myself. I'm just barely getting home. Oh, you want loud stuff? Here you go. Sorry. I'm just saying hello, this is my home. This is where I used to come, right here, South Broadway Cultural Center. It used to be like this. It used to be like a fucking 7-Eleven storefront. And, you know, shit would be rough at home. We'd come and there'd be a lady named Vanjie, you know, in the office there, and she'd let us hang out here. They'd project movies on the side. My son's probably trying to come see me. I'm sorry, guys, I'm kind of, excuse me, I don't mean to, I'm not Rain Man or anything. I'm just kind of home, and it's a trip. So,
All right.
loud stuff like this, you know, my son, we make noise together. You know. Alright, so yeah, I wrote a poem, you know, a new poem. It's like been a long time since I wrote you know, new stuff. I got lucky to be invited to New York City to do some TV show shit that I'm not necessarily proud of, overly proud of, but it's there. And then I came home, you know, and my partner had split, didn't see her for a long time, and I had lost a bunch of people. Right here up the street, my fucking homie got killed, blah, blah, blah. Excuse me, I'm all on my knees, and dramatic. I just had to lower the thing so my thing wouldn't fall down. Anyway, this is some new stuff. Hito, do you want to kick it with me right here? You want to kick it with me? That's cool. Just don't fall down. It's cool. Don't stress out over it. They even have floor mics. You want to beatbox? All right, so check it out. Word, not for simile or punchline, not for metaphor, for manifestation, not for self-glorification, a birth of cloudburst, origami, gold leaf, sandalwood, scented love note to self first. Spell words casting, hold on. Okay, as long as it's not offending anybody. It's back to, you know, spells and spelling and why we don't call it graffiti, because, you know, these things we write on the wall are powerful and dangerous. And in a good way too. Spell word casting, tell birds passing, everything is everlasting, cannot be created or destroyed. Change rules everything around me. Cream spoils quickly in this lactose intolerant dream. Cash carries no current. Supercapacitors can be made from graphite, dust, and scotch tape. The soundscape you choose can harm or heal. How must veal feel knowing that chia has more protein? Build spirulina bioreactors, raise scientists, farmers, not child actors. Ancient future, not backwards. Blackbirds carry the full spectrum of light on a backward. Without dark matter, where would we be? Praise the sun, the shadow, and the tree. What pages will you fill with sweetness if you never shed a breath of flowers? For all my spell-casting spellers, treetop dwellers, humble truth tellers, baby mamas and daddies unite, definers of words and rap battles with songbirds, in a dance of lexicon, in a stance of hexagon, style undomesticatable, and the words called to be written on, and the words, excuse me for, and the words called to be written on nights of East Oakland shotgun fight soundscape, and the days of Big Bad Burke, to the squeak of the old gate, focus on love, not effigies burned. Words of indigenous superfruit, non-genetically modified root, spirulina chia love songs, brand new drum songs, songs of decolonizing heart, mind, and diet, chant down aspartame and played out fame, bleed, be claquilo, not producer of graffito. These are glyphs, not the markings of conquest. Be ancient innovator in the days of Darth Vader, making globes of light of this 26-barred cage of alphabet, escaping possessive nouns with arrows, stars, and clouds. A form of self-preservation. Words, a beautiful form of gestation. The whiteness of this page tries to cause flow blindness. The politeness of this age tries to cause faux kindness. Trick locks of hidden spells and lexicon. Be co-creator, not faux painter. Time and space portal maker. Be natural human. Produce more than you be consuming. Not corpse, as in corporation. Not a marine, not from habeas corpus Christi, Texas. Follow natural law. 22 kilohertz, standing wave, sonic levitation. Lexicon of dodecahedron on an internal, wait, did you catch that? 22 kilohertz, standing wave, sonic levitation. Lexicon of dodecahedron on an internal odyssey, spoken sacred geometry. Oddball glyphology. Don't be a microphony ruled by paper and lithography. Clap your hands to the algorithm. Be a farmer, not an alpha villain. Manifesting blessings in the form of a bicycle plow. Here and now, turning cans from the past into wind turbines of the future. Be a heartbeat producer, fresh beat juicer. Make your whole body feel looser. Rock to the rhythm since the chair's a booster. Silence and my outline, speech and my fill-in. From Bootca to the Bay, working, puffing, planting, chilling. Solar water distiller, clean water collecting off the ceiling. This is condensation, not cotton candy codex. It is audio aquifer, time filters all whackness. For true self connects us, golden thread to all of creation. No time for Xbox or PlayStation. Sun gazing, barefoot, at sunrise for mental stimulation. This text is not to make you feel happy or sad. No bouncy ball from word to word. It is a stereographic panorama view. Little beautiful words, please come out of your cocoon.
Woo!
We're gonna have time to rock later, but I brought my brothers Wake, Self, and Death Fighter in the house. If there's any time later, we're gonna rock. Thank you so much. Peace and support and love to the sister that's being messed with by the educational system. If there's anything we can do to help, paint something, plant something, whatever, got your back. Peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, a few years ago, I was blessed with the opportunity to be able to go and teach a class with a poet I had never heard of before. But when I got there, we were teaching a class at the Bosque School now, and that was like, I didn't expect it to be as like ritzy as it was in there. Like the classroom looked like a boardroom. But anyways, I got to go into this classroom and I heard a poet that she punched me right in the chakras. It was like my heart opened up when I heard her express herself in the most beautiful and amazing way. So I want you to put your hands together, make some noise for the next poet on the stage. Let's hear it for Aaron Northern!
In gym class today, we climbed all the way into space without even wearing a helmet. Then we caught 7 skinks in our jump rope. That's a skunk lizard monkey. I did 10 push-ups in my face. It started raining. And do you know that I won the race because I am half boy, half girl, half president? On the report card, my kindergarten students receive a grade for their creativity and imagination, and I am left wondering, when is the accurate moment to correctly analyze the constant sketching, sculpting, giggling, dripping from their minds? Do I offer this judgment in the moment just before or after I've explained to their wandering ears, wondering eyes, beating hopeful hearts that know they may not run? May not kangaroo jump, twirl, hula hoop, hip dance, backward scoot, karate kick their way down these halls. They must walk single file, leaving each and every child standing wrong or standing right behind the other. Just like that. All his friends are ferocious readers. They are masterpiece makers, the puppeteers of numbers, the composers of the written word. And Leo, the true and gentlest lion of them all, has not yet bloomed into his roar. Leo, he has the fiercest pounding veins and yet the tiniest of tears, an unruly mane of a mind, a scrawny temper, and a merry-go-round tongue. His fragile voice will frantically circle the point of any story he's telling. His genius, constantly battling superhero space aliens, and his never-lazy imagination will not allow him to simply respond to a spoken name. He just feels this world too much to listen. Leo. His favorite season is allergy, because the best part of being in school these days is when the Kleenex box happens to become empty, because then there's a chance your teacher will let you take it home for your next invention. Leo, he will bloom. As sure as the sun streaks the savannah, he will bloom with perfect timing. But if you rush his seed or interrupt the soil, he will tell you how far down he's been digging, how his feelings have been hurt, and he draws you a picture of a more safe world, reminds you you're not listening to the now. He wants to ask you a question, but you still have millions more to go. Leo, can you tell me what sound this letter is making? Can you tell me what word these sounds are making together? Leo, do you know what plus means? No, it does not mean you will suddenly grow. Do you know what equal means? No, it does not mean that you will learn the same as everyone else, but you will be expected to. So can you please just imagine and create yourself down just a little bit more? Can you tell me something that these standardized tests will recognize as progress? But he reminds me I'm still not listening to the now. He wants to ask me a question, and I still have thousands more in standardized test, performance task, evaluations, and hours, days, weeks of losing, and I still have 25 sets of 6-year-old Leo hands, constantly reaching, yearning in this rusted junkyard of a system, where the bravest little lion heart can declare the writing of his first full sentence ever, by celebrating in a classroom overcrowded, declaring, I bloom like a lion, he says. And I know that this accomplishment carries the pride equaling an Olympic gold medal. I know his mother is walking a little lighter, taller, fuller, just like his smile that birthed an extra 3 inches. And I also know every test marks him failing. Every evaluation from this governor marks me ineffective, as he reminds me I'm still not listening to the now. He wants to ask me a question. Teacher, 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 are you happy being you, he says. No. As long as there is no way to measure how much brilliance he roars into my heart. No refusal to recognize how much the system is failing all of them, all of us, not while we're still standing and ignoring these questions being raised in our classrooms like red flags. No, I am not happy. I am a teacher. I am a teacher, and I am so angry.
I'm just so happy. You know, inspiration to me, it comes from the heart. And it comes from the actions and the histories of all of you guys. And this certain throat hurt that I know all of us feel sometimes. This is called Wood Marrow Blues. Walls often engage with a decided breath in a house. Its folly is that of wood marrow ferocity at the boundary of wind, of a voice that cradles a lifetime. For one, behind the interrupt, to come to know in a childhood relationship with the moon and the stars. For Lady Day and her borrowing of brutality, a cigarette burn on purple mink, and a brawl taken outside. For the shadow above the hemisphere that told a Miss Peaches to keep on crying. A pact with the devil at the evening sauntered crossroads. A severed arm over the tin fragmented mill of a road alongside the dirt-heaped, rosy strife killweed sides of the Mississippi. He played for graveyard death, and he was honored by graveyard death. Strain overcomes recognition, and that driving throat hurt signals a cry from the heart, carving history at its belly, dressing the wounds in likeness and in poverty. And back then, aphrodisia was laundered, apricots were far away, and only magnolias were sweet. Bound personage splurge and flourish, and crows expunge the claret at the crux. There is a scrape under where I stand, and that is how I feel my ground and my ghosts. Milked in life, loved in death, dressed in our best clothes for when we perish, sitting disheveled together on the cliffs. He told me that I delivered him degree, that he would have never been an outsider, that I induced his senselessness at a budding boyhood. Adoration gives gesture to heaving pastiche, vaudeville litany, worship at the nape, a patchwork of prayer berries in a birdless morning. There is a body who builds shelters for bears. He knows the unending anima of a beast with 4 legs, a birthplace for potency, a fruit from sinew. He holds the exhale of bears. Subsidiary sky fills in the gaps between a house and its sand. A keening poem is present throughout. A girl is another's spiritual successor. Her coma is portraited and her belongings are preserved. And she will die only after being delighted. Her prim engagement with lyricism is drowned out by her actress, and she may fall in the frost on the blight-banked husk. But an applause will be due, and the applause will be lively. A way to signal that throat-hurt cry from the heart. A way to sell a soul at the crossroads and be honored by graveyard death. Its luxuriant concord is that of a wood marrow ferocity at the boundary of wind, of a voice that cradles a lifetime. It is left in the life brine of the performance and carried over the tin fragmented mill of a road alongside the dirt-heaped, rosy strife killweed sides of a soul left unfinished. I breathe them sleeping, and there exists my urge to sing and to wither into time when I go outside to see black feathers in the snow. Walls often engage with a decided breath in the house, and I find myself there on occasion to cradle it. It is an intricate lace of a magnificent life, like porcelain elephants, an honoring of sisters, a ground and a ghost, carving history at its belly, when consistently I sprawl under a memoir drape in a house that abounds over time. Thank you.
First off, I want to express my extreme gratitude for being able to be here to honor Katrina, and I would also like to express my gratitude for the ability to be loud and opinionated and have it not just be allowed, but expected. So, here's a poem that I wrote, inspired by my two little sisters, because if we're not doing it for the kids to lead and inspire them, then why are we doing it? It's called Earth Journey. Children of the soil, dance barefoot with me around the fire. Embrace the consummation of your soul with love, with hate, with desire. This is the final test. Stretch out your nakedness under the rich black blanket of gems. Relish not in what you own, or fear what you lack. No true wealth resides within. Treasures of truth are abundant in the yearning eyes of virgin skin, untainted by the dark magic. This reality, a river of ideas powerfully rushing over our feet. Sifting for the few golden flecks of truth, only the weak of spirit accept defeat. Lending their pocket to the valueless pebbles of deceit, clutching to them as trophies. Religion is mere sand for those with no ideas of their own worthy of being beliefs. Thrown in their blinded eyes and filling their hands, too full to hold the fruits of the universe. Mother Nature, Father Spirit, the creatures are all weeping for the return of the sun. Do not forsake them.
Thank you. Katrina, is it? I think I've met you once or twice before, and I've heard so much wonderful things about you, so I'm gonna dedicate this poem to you. Dear child, block of wood, born to this world uncut, brand new moment of creation. Days trail on. Do not remain uncarved. Do not let those around you take chisel to your surface or file your edges. Do not let them speak to you with saw blade tongues or place their axe hands upon you. Do not allow their termite words to eat into your every fiber. They have no right for threats with or against your grain. Do not let them set you with fire for their own comfort. No. Child, this is your time, your moment to sculpt your dreams, your travels through this life. Be gentle to yourself. Little by little, begin to carve with your own hands. This is not self-destruction, but your will to be free. Work towards your true being. Remove wooden knots, scars left behind from broken branches. There is no use for them. Trim the splinters that may have left you jaded. Sand away the gouges left behind by files. Shave away any rot that may have begun to spread. Expose the strength of hardened wood that lay sturdy underneath. Show your wisdom with the ages of your rings, the multitude of your layers. You may have been split from tree, but this is not your end. You still remain and carry on. Growth continues with perseverance to constantly work on yourself. There were no roots to hold you in place, no leaves to block out the light. No needs for varnish or polish. Do not concern yourself with any other color or this world's want for shine. Stay true to your original beauty. There will always be the need for adjustments in this molding of yourself. Be sure to never gouge too deeply nor sand yourself too thin. Proceed only little by little until that one day when you realize you have finally sculpted yourself, dear child, into the image of your own perfection.
Make some noise for Jesus. Now, the brother that just got up here in red, his name is Jesus. But the poet that's about to come up here, it reminded me, because he has a coat that looks like Chewbacca, because Jesus, like Chewy is short for Jesus. But like I want his coat. It looks like Chewbacca. It has like the strap and everything and ears, and it's cool now. So make some noise, clap your hands. Let me hear you for Justin Romine.
How's it going? I get water, therefore this is a paid gig going on my resume. I got 2 poems, they're both pretty short. One of them, Bill, come on up. Let's hear it for Bill Nevins. It's funny how we get our inspiration and the places we're at in our life when we're there. So I kind of want to do 2 that are polar opposites of each other. And since we have an Irish band playing, I wanted to Irish it up in here a little bit. Usually that means add whiskey too. So when I wrote this poem, 16th of November 2002, I must have been thinking about death. You guys here in New Mexico have your own wailing woman story. And so do the Irish. It's called the Banshee, and I'm going to read a poem about it. The Lamenting of the Banshee. In the darkness of the night, there can be heard a wail. 'Tis carried over the trees in flight upon the fearful gale. For when you are old and gray, or even when life is waning, comes the time, even the day, the banshee comes a-screaming. She laments for you, it's true. Your spirit is for her taking. Her hair is white in hue. Her carriage comes a-shrieking. Now it's time, your final ride has stopped for your taking. At the door, your time you bide. The first step is hard making. But once inside, her cries subside, and you continue on your journey. You've realized that you've died from the howling of the banshee. Thank you. I wrote this one for my girlfriend, apparently almost a year ago, February 24th. It's called The Western Star. There is a western star in the sky that beckons to me. Find the western star and you will see an electric smile parted between 2 lips with such beauty I could never hope to quit. She has been waiting for eternity for the western star to lead thee. Open arms and a close embrace welcomed me with heart and grace. From that moment on through the ages, a love has blossomed without cages. With 2 broken hearts mending, discovering a love without ending. 2 lovers watching the sunrise over the mountains, stretching towards the skies. Palms touching, fingers entwined, the promise of tomorrow makes us go blind. Through the darkness and into the light lies a future stretched ahead, full and bright. There is a star in the sky that beckons to me. Find the western star and you will see an electric smile parted between 2 lips with such beauty I could never hope to quit. She has been waiting for eternity for the western star to lead thee. Thank you. I have books. I'm not going to sell them for my own fun and gain. Actually, I'm going to donate a handful of them to Katrina. They're going to be back on the elephant's table with all of their poems and books. $10 a piece. It all goes to her, so buy them. Thank you.
guys clap your hands for the next poet on the stage. Let's hear it for Mark Wright.
It's truly an honor for me to be here tonight. I'll share with you people why that is. While a lot of things have been said in the paper about Katrina that are good, I'd like to tell you about the one I know outside of the paper. I've known her for just over a year. And not only is she an amazing teacher, but she's an amazing person. She's the epitome of the corn mother. I have seen her stretch herself over the earth to feed us and to feed our souls with what she does. And I mean that in the most literal sense of the word. Outside of the classroom, she helps the Rio Rancho Poetry Movement for the youth. In addition to that, she runs Swim with Elephants, a small independent nonprofit publishing company. And a lot of the people you've heard tonight and a lot of the people you will hear tonight have been published and given a broader audience because of her efforts. She's the epitome of grace, kindness, and warmth. She is tireless and unwavering and never gives up on any of us, especially her students who are closest to her heart. It's called Tilting at Windmills, or an open letter to the Rio Rancho public school system.
This little light of mine, gotta be careful where I let it shine. This little light of mine, gotta be careful where I let it shine. For most of my younger years, I felt that I had no voice. But a chance writing assignment allowed an amazing teacher to see something in me that no one had ever seen before. Talent, potential, and promise. And even though I was far from being one of Mr. Padilla's best students, or maybe because of that, he always took the time to encourage and nurture and support those gifts, as did many teachers who followed after him. In high school, we read Cervantes, and we praised and we admired Don Quixote for his courage. We had teachers who encouraged us to tilt at windmills, to take the high, hard road in spite of whatever was being said about us or whatever was going down around us. And we did that. We took the high road. We chased dragons, we tilted at windmills. Us never knowing, and perhaps our teachers always forgetting, that at the end of the courage of the man of La Mancha is forgotten by those around him. Don Quixote is dismissed, derided, and written off as nothing more than a senile old man who's read a few too many books. As parents and people, we hope that our children will have teachers who inspire them to tilt at windmills. But I find it strange that whenever we get what we ask for, we burn these teachers at the stake as witches and heretics. As people and as parents, we say that we study history, but it seems to me that we never pass up an opportunity to repeat it. I remember in 2003 when Bill Nevins was hounded out of the classroom because he gave his students a forum, and he refused to censor them whenever they raised their voices against a war and administration they felt was unjust, uncalled for, and unfair. Now it's happened again. Katrina gave her students a space where they weren't judged. And a Pharisee and her family were offended because one of her students remembered that were he around today, Jesus' politics would still be pretty progressive because he seems to care more about helping the sick and the needy than paying lip service to empty platitudes. As parents and people, we say that we want higher and we want better things for our kids. So why is it that we burn these teachers at the stake? We say that we want higher learning and higher education. We say that we want better things for our children. So here's today's lesson in rhetoric and philosophy. As parents and people, why do we eagerly await our children's first words so we can spend the most precious and formative of their years telling them to shut the fuck up? As parents and people, why do we ask for teachers who will inspire our children to choose the high, hard road, to tilt at windmills, only to burn them at the stake for doing what we ask them to? As parents and people, when will we have the courage of our conviction to do as these teachers do and burn for our beliefs? As parents and people, when will we have the courage and the strength to do as these teachers do and practice what they preach? When? How about now? This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, this little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine, this little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Yeah.
Give Mark another round of applause. Clap your hands. Let me hear you. Now the next poet that's gonna come and grace this stage is the best looking poet that's gonna be up here. And the reason I think she's the best looking poet to be up here is because she looks just like her mama. Make some noise for my hijita, Sarita Sol Gonzalez.
Katrina and Mr. Levens for letting me share my poem for this wonderful evening. The poem I am reading is called Advice from a Student. Schools, let me tell you something. You would do nothing without teachers. My first teacher, Miss Jennifer, she was kind and taught me how to share. My second teacher was Miss Sonia. She was nice and read wonderful stories. But my third teacher was amazing. Her name was Miss Nava. She made learning fun. She turned books into adventures. She encouraged my individuality. She loved me for me. So, school, take my advice. Support your amazing teachers that support amazing students like me. Red, like the strength in my corazón. Orange, like my perfect imperfections. Yellow, like my sunny attitude. Green, like nature that inspires me. Blue, like the ocean where this Aquarius loves to roam. Indigo, like the color of the child that I am. Violet, like the beauty of my individuality. My true colors, true color, true colors are beautiful like a rainbow.
Give Sarita another round of applause. We are definitely here tonight to honor the amazing teachers that have touched our lives and those that have kind of pushed us to think in different directions and in different ways. But now we're going to hear a little bit from some of those from Katrina's students. I was going to say some of that teachers, but I'm talking about her. And we're going to make some noise. I want you to go wild and crazy. Make sure they feel welcome. But the first student poet that's going to be coming up on this stage is Sabrina Vargas. Come on, Sabrina, tear it up.
Hello. Hi. Well, everybody, this is obviously a poetry slam. I decided to read something that was actually inspired by Miss Katrina herself, as for a while there, I was like, oh, feminism, and now I'm probably the most diehard feminist ever, and I do not shut up about it, I swear. One word, one huge movement. Feminism. I could go on for days about why it's needed. Thousands of people are trying to explain the importance of it, and social media has become a great tool, allowing Twitter users to create #YesAllWomen, and enabling them to share their stories at ease. What exactly is feminism, you ask? The exact dictionary definition of feminism is as follows: the advocacy of women's rights on the grounds of political, social, and economic equality to men. If you didn't catch that, I'll explain it a little differently. Men have pockets on their work pants, while women do not. I would really enjoy pockets on my work pants too. People seem to assume that feminism is an act of hating men or wanting to bash on feminine qualities. Many women are for this movement, well, many are totally not. Women claim they do not need feminism because nothing is bothering them. What about 20 years from now when you have a daughter and she's being treated unfairly? Big Bang actress Kelly Kuo apologized for not being a feminist and then proceeded to say that she enjoyed serving her husband. Well, that's great. Women are not slaves. And nowhere does feminism say that it is wrong to cook dinner, be a mother, clean, or be feminine. A few people commented on Ms. Kakoa's statement saying things such as how feminists are short hairs, implying that it's a movement created by lesbians. Others stated feminists offend normal people. And from personal experience, feminists are also Nazis. Here's what you really need to know about feminism. It's a movement working towards a feeling of safety and a secure life in this world. Quite recently, a childhood friend of mine was harassed by two guys while she was working. They kept asking for her number, and although she said no many times, the two would not stop with the persistent asking until one of them finally asked if she had a boyfriend. Not that it would really matter, but yes, I do. She followed it. It wasn't until then that they respected her nose. They saw her as a man's property and only respected her then, but not because she was a person. A work environment in which you are fearful and pestered is toxic. Imagine having a man randomly and nonchalantly discussing your body with you like it's last Sunday's football game. It's highly uncomfortable, infuriating, and these things occur even when you ask them to stop. And worst of all, if you say anything, most people tell you that should be flattered. It's a compliment. None of that is okay, and on top of it all, many jobs make us feel trapped, as it's competitive enough in this world. But put a woman up against a man, and the man is much more likely to be hired, especially if it's in a position which holds much power. I need feminism because showing too much or hardly anything at all should never be a discussion, thought, or concern. You need feminism because women shouldn't be asked what they did to provoke a rapist. Men need feminism because humanity and life is one giant partnership, and we must support each other. Join the movement and make a difference.
Make some noise for that brilliant feminist. That's what I like to see. Now keep on clapping for Victoria Alexander.
I love you too. Just kidding, I hate you. And this is the part where I actually say nice words about her. I just wanted to ramble a little bit before I do my poem. I went to Cleveland with Miss G, or Katrina, or whatever you call her, and I know that the Rio Rancho public school system is very big on avoiding controversial topics in classrooms, which is stupid. I've always seen it as the school district has never found us students smart enough to make our own opinions about controversial topics. And we do not have the intelligence nor right to think about anything controversial or to not censor ourselves, because we're just not at a mature enough level for that, and that's bullshit. Like, that's stupid. And Miss G was the first person who ever taught me that that's not true. We can have opinions, we can look at these controversial topics and know that we can form our own opinions on them. So this poem is about a controversial topic that is very important to me, and I'm gonna say that poem now.
Say it straight up.
I will. You're walking alone at night. You see a man walking towards you. There's only 8 seconds between you and him. Be ready. 8. When your sister moved, she gave you her pepper spray. A careful gift. She taught you how to use it. Your other sister told you never to leave work without a man escorting you to your car. Always hold your car keys like a shank. If you have to, go for the eyes. Your mom told you, always make sure no one is following you, even when nobody is around. What you see behind you is just as important as what you see in front of you. Your guard has been up your entire life. You're ready. 7. Your clothes are paper. Your skin is police tape reading, "Do not cross," with only you around to enforce it. Don't let anyone tear through you. 6. I totally know what line this is. This is a clever ruse. 6. I totally got it back. 6. You remember the man who tried to kidnap you from the library. You got away from him. If you need to, you'll get away from this guy too. You hope. 5. Don't make eye contact with him. He might take eye contact as consent. Don't look afraid. Fear and love look too similar. He might take your fear as love. He might take your love as consent. Don't breathe. He might take your heaving chest as consent. Every college in America is singing the same motto, including yours. Consent is sexy, but they will tell you sexy is your own fault. 4. Truth doesn't matter when judgment takes precedence over logic. You've heard the questions. What was she wearing? Was she drunk? Why was she walking alone at night in the first place? Girls today should know better. 3. He may just be an innocent stranger. You might just be paranoid. Those assumptions are luxuries you cannot afford. Security comes at too high a cost. It's not like women get paid the same as much as men anyway. 2. He probably doesn't even notice you walking towards him. Don't you hate being nothing to someone who could be every fear you've ever imagined? 1. Your car keys are in grip. If he attacks, you're ready to run. You're ready to fight. You've always been ready to fight. 0. He walks away. You look behind you to make sure he isn't following you. Hurry to your car. When you get there, you realize how many times this has happened. You are suddenly aware that you were not born with your guard up. It was something you grew to combat this society that told you your clothes are paper, your skin is police tape, you are a culmination of all the objects everybody has ever told you you were. This society is thieves and objects, and if someone takes you, well, you should have known better. And that this society is a violation all its own. Thank you.
All right, how you guys doing tonight? All right. A lot of beautiful people out here. Let's give a round of applause for self-expression. It's just the greatest thing. Alright, so this is my friend Nick. We're trying something new. So here we go, alright? Miss G, I just want to say thank you. You're awesome. Cool, calm, and collected. It's the freedom that's always been respected. Even though my inner self may have been neglected, let my inner light be resurrected. As our breath is sacred, I look into my reflection. I see that we can make it. How far will we take it till we let go? Feel the flow and let our hearts show. For some reason, we're so hesitant, even though it's evident that we all have hurt. Why can't we be in the present? Create our own reality, healing our casualties. I stand here ready to believe, so I fall to my knees, embracing the most high. I know I'm no ordinary guy. Sometimes I feel like I can truly fly, but sometimes I just wanna cry. Only on our love can we rely. As I relay my heart through what I say, I'm trying to find my way, crafting my thoughts like a ball of clay. May I enjoy this blessed day, and open up the gates to my untapped potential. It's essential to live in love, so I give thanks to above, for I have enough. My plate is full. No reason to act cruel. I'm tired of living as a fucking fool. I know I'm not too cool for anybody, unless they live in hate. Then I gotta let that disintegrate. 'Cause there ain't nobody in this world I need to imitate. The jealousy we got to eliminate. So positively I let my mind create vibrations to stimulate, so we can open up our hearts and elevate our souls to the greatest fate. Let me test the universe to see what steps I make. Ooh, I said, let me test the universe to see what steps I make. I know you can relate, 'cause it ain't no mistake. We're all climbing at the highest rate, living so far from fake. Oh, please do take a breath or two and serenade that mind of yours and enjoy the love we make. I have this anxiety. It feels like there is no more fight in me. Can I even breathe? I must open up and believe. I'm here on my knees, praying please, may this pain leave. All I can do is grieve. But like the leaves of a tree, let me go with the breeze along with my hurt. Let it sink into the dirt so I can find my worth. Looking at my palms, I see the blood and the scars. I look around and I hear a sound. It's electrifying. Feeling something thriving, pumping like never before. I'm getting the feeling like there is something more. I realize this is my core. So I look up to the sky and I let out a roar like never before. I feel a new feeling. What is this? Is this my inner power? It beats louder and louder. My heart is bursting out of my chest. It's been put to the test. It's ready to continue the rest of its quest. For there is an untapped potential left within my being. Now, only light is what I am seeing. And I realize I'm still breathing. My mind is meeting a revelation. The pain met evaporation. And I became a stronger vibration, vibrating through the realms of existence. I'm in tune with the universe, breaking the curse of a heartbreak. Let me take back what's mine, and I know in time I will truly shine.
That was worth the wait. Give him another round of applause. Make some noise. poetry is a living, breathing art form, alive and well. And if the youth poets that just graced this stage are any indication of the future of this art form, I think we're doing good, no? All right. Now, coming up next on this stage is another one of those teacher type people, no? In fact, this teacher is the reason, like he has helped facilitate this whole reading, and when I met him as a teacher, like I was working in his classroom, so I still want to call him Mr. Nevins. I can't get used to calling him Bill. But he taught me something about my culture that I still love to drop on people to this day. He was like, no, you know why they celebrate St. Patrick's Day in Mexico? And like, no, I didn't know. And he told me that back in the day in the Mexican-American War, the Irishmen had just came over after the potato famine, and they saw the atrocities that the United States government was inflicting on the Mexican people, their fellow Catholics. So they defected from the United States Army and joined the Mexicans and fought from the other side. And so now in Mexico on St. Patrick's Day, they honor those soldiers that fought for the Mexican Army. And I was like, wow, I knew I liked those Irish vatos like that for some reason. So put your hands together, make some noise for the teacher always teaching, Mr. Bill Nevins.
Thanks, Manuel. How about those youth poets? They got a damn good teacher. Woo! Thanks for coming out on a snowy night, really. The kill switch, or Revolution X Redux. I was thinking the other day about Katrina, and back before that about Revolution X, that forbidden poem, and the shock and awe day in 2003 when Rio Rancho High tried to shut the young poets down. Got me wondering about how many dreamers were in that sad Intel-bought school across the river when some bloated chicken hawk, ROTC boss, military fool told the kids that they could not dream on school property. And of how many kids did shut up and went on silently to die in Iraq, in Afghanistan, in our streets, in that pompous bastard's dirty little wars. Now, of course, our murdered Dr. King hated those filthy wars, spoke up free, and showed us all how to dream back in 1963, in a time when I was a smart white kid who was told I was already free. But it's a sadly forgotten fact, even among us who remember those days, yet one we should recall, that when the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. gave his I Have a Dream speech in Washington, D.C. that fine summer day, he did not know that the FBI had planted a kill switch on his microphone that day. But they had, indeed. True fact. Just in case some preacher, teacher, or radical poet said something just a tad too wild for our homeland security, one supposes. You know, Malcolm X was quietly waiting in that crowd, though he got no invite to speak, alas. The bastards didn't trip their kill switch that day, and who knows why. Maybe because when Martin launched into I Have a Dream at the urging of Sister Mahalia Jackson, his words were just too poetic for those thick cracker cops to understand. And so Martin's clear, deep voice rang out across this land. School kids still recite his words to this day. at least in schools where they can, where reciting is permitted by the NSA. But not in Rio Rancho, of course, nor in the many other fascist academies of this land, but in the civilized, well-educated, free world where we poets and our children dwell, outside the Taliban darkness of America, KKK, we do recite Martin's dream. And still dream it too. It's true. But make no mistake, folks, that kill switch is still here. Maybe in this microphone right now, today. When Katrina or her sisters and brothers in teaching get shut down, when the young poets get shut down, get choked, can't breathe, when V. Sue Cleveland puts another notch on her bloody nightstick, having beaten another good uppity teacher out of her school district, then that kill switch is thrown. Then the kids don't hear the dream speech. Then the kids maybe don't dream, don't read, don't speak their own dream poems. They just take orders. Shut up and work, or join the service for lousy pay, and don't complain, don't whine, don't strike, don't hold your damn hands up. Don't spit poems, and for Christ's sake, don't dream. Don't dream of the day when the bosses pay, when the school superintendents run away, when that kill switch is dug out of the mic and burned, when the kids can believe what they truly learned, when workers take home all the pay they've earned, when our troops return, when the chickens come home to roost, when kids don't tinkle cans on Central begging, please, mister, can you spare? When revolution is triumphant everywhere. When the real bullies are kicked out of our schools. When brave parents set the golden rules. When teachers, kids, poets, and workers shout, free at last, free at last. Thank the teachers. Thank the poets. We're free at last. That day is coming. It's coming fast. And now, straight out of Rio Rancho, I give you the notorious KKG, Hurricane Katrina K. Guarascio.
For sharing your words, sharing your music. I'm so touched that my former students came out to support me this evening. I have prepared a little speech, and then I do want to include one of the poems to share with you all tonight. I asked Bill what I should do and what my time limit was, and he was like, oh, you know, do whatever. And I laughed and laughed and laughed. That's kind of what got me into this predicament in the first place. I used to joke with my students, I thought I was joking with my students, that if I ever lost my job in Rio Rancho, it would be because I refused to censor a student or encourage freedom of speech. Little did I know, words are powerful. We never really know how people are going to respond to our words, to us, to what we say. We never know what kind of impression we are going to make. Words should be respected for their power, for their ability to do harm as well as good. They should be used wisely and with intention. I believe every individual, every writer, poet, artist, student, newscaster, naked, crazy man has the right to express themselves. I have heard words that have changed my view on the world, words that have left an imprint on the person I am today. Words can educate, they can inspire, they can start wars and they can end them. Words can cut and they can heal. When we are young, when we are learning, we must have the freedom to experiment with our words, with our beliefs, and with our interpretation of the world. This is how we learn. We must have the freedom to explore our voice and perspectives, to learn new ideas and chop them fine and blend them into whatever makes a mind its own. I am a writer. I write because it helps me understand the world. One of the hardest things for any writer to learn is how to murder the angel that holds her tongue. That sweet darling who shakes her head in disappointment, dare that writer say the wrong thing. It took me 15 years to kill what Virginia Woolf dubbed the angel in the house. As a teacher, I will be damned if I teach a single student to listen to the angel which perches on her shoulder, telling them what to say and what to ignore, telling them it's time to keep your mouth shut. As a writer, as a teacher, as a member of the human race, I want to inspire others. I want to understand myself and the world. I want to open others up to the possibilities of what they can be. And these are lofty goals, I know. Those of us here tonight that are celebrating the power of words got here by going against the grain, knowing that there is not one path in this life. Yet we group our next generation in a room with the same equipment and the same books and the same assignments and treat them as if they are all the same, and if they don't fit the norm, we get rid of them. If this is the example we are giving our children, it is no wonder they see the world so bleakly. For the last several years, I've had my students analyze a poem by Shane Coinzan entitled "This Is My Voice." The poem created a mantra elusive to the rifleman's creed. This is my voice. There are many like it, but this one is mine. After some analysis and discussion, the students get the root of the poem. Their voice can be a weapon. Their voice has power. Their voice can create a change in this world. Many of the heroes Coinzan refers to, Martin Luther King Jr., Gandhi, John Lennon, were murdered for their words, for their beliefs. But that didn't stop their words from making a difference. As a teacher, if I didn't teach students to stand up for what they believe in, I wouldn't be doing my job. I want to teach students the power of their words. I want them to find and develop their voice in a safe environment, learning how to speak for oneself and develop critical thinking skills as a process that should occur in all of our school systems. There will always be someone, some faction, some group who may not see things your way. Those people have the right to argue, to state their own opinion, to discuss fact and issue, to agree or disagree. This is freedom of speech. The world is a colorful place, full of colorful people who believe colorful things. No one should have the power to suppress someone else's beliefs, yet it still happens. It happens all the time around the world, despite our efforts. That is why events like the one tonight are so important. These issues need to stay fresh in our collective consciousness. These issues need to be kept alive through discourse and exchange. We need to remind each other, as well as ourselves, the importance of our individuality. We need to give each other and ourselves the strength and courage to take a stand for what we believe and nourish an essential sense of community. It is not easy, but nothing worth fighting for ever was. Words have the power to incite revolution. They have the power to demonstrate opinion. They have the power to make change. If we restrict our words due to fear or intimidation, we don't develop the skills to create the words that can cause change, that can empower, that can heal. That sounded really formal, didn't it? Okay, I'll be back. Everyone for being here, for supporting the freedom of speech, for supporting school reform. I'm really hoping that with all the attention that something changes in Rio Rancho. I don't know if I can do it, but I hope something does change. I am very grateful for everyone's support. The poem I want to leave you with is one that is inspired by my students. Over the past 8 years, I have worked to teach students how important their words could be, to create a community of writers. These students write because they have something to say, because their voice matters, because they want to inspire others, because they have the right. I hope their words are never silenced. This is called A Letter to Adolescence. It may feel like Friday, but it has really only just begun, and it's gonna get worse. There are going to be days when you will scream at the walls, when you will lie on the cold tile of bathroom floors begging for the world to shrug from its atlas. There are going to be nights so pitch, your face will ripple rage, and you will plead the moon for sacrifice to take all that you are. Precious lies will rip untimely from your arms, leaving you grasping at sunflowers in November. More painful, though, are the ones you leave behind. Right now, you think you can save the world, repair the cracks they carved into themselves. You believe you have the thread to mend the lost like broken kites and make them fly. But one day you'll realize the only person you can save is yourself. And you will. You'll save yourself. Child, you will not always be this angry. The fist you pump against the night sky will tire. You will realize you have nothing to prove. You will emerge from the storm, though it may leave you gasping, beaten, clinging. You will survive, and panting on the shore of battered beach, you will rise. Mingled in the moments of bleak, emerge utter joy and peace. You will wake up beside it on a September morning, and spend the night laughing and singing with it around bonfires. You'll have lovers and friends and fleeting moments when you feel truly alive, and it will be worth it. You will know contentment. Your jeans may still have holes in the knees, and you will continue to feel too much and give too much of yourself. There will be plenty of times when you will still pray for the eventual apocalypse. But evolution does have a course. You'll quit smoking. Several times. You'll form creases around your lips and webs around your eyes, some from laughter, others from grimace. Wisdom will come in the form of clever phrases, and patience will embed itself into your heart. You don't know what it's like to truly love another person right now, but you will, and someday you will know how to give that love freely, without bounds. And yes, darling, though it may take you kicking and screaming, you will shed this adolescent skin. You will grow up. It may be scary at first, but you will realize it's all right. There is a person you are meant to be. One day the scars will heal, and you will replace them with garlands of orange daisies. There is going to be someone who thinks the heavens of you for nothing more than exactly what you are, the person you came to be. One day you will stand solitary in the barren desert, but no longer feel alone. One day you will look in the mirror and accept your smile. Recite poetry instead of curse words. Find the beauty of tattered dandelions and the pure tragedy of perfection. You will no longer be ashamed of your reflection. One day you will stop hating yourself. It's going to take a while, so hold on, but you will get there. Thank you very much.
Let's give Katrina another round of applause. Respect. Oh, all your fans are out tonight, Katrina.